What's going on inside the community?
It is good to be back. I've been gone for too long on these Wednesday lives.
This is awesome. This is awesome. Good afternoon, everybody. What's up, insiders? My name is Terrell Murrell. I'm the Director of Engagement here at VA Claims Insider, and I have none other than the man, the myth, the legend, the CEO and founder of VA Claims Insider, Mr. Brian Reese. What's going on, brother? How you doing today?
Appreciate you, man. I'm doing fantastic. It's a blessed day to be alive and to serve each other. And so, look, that's what we're going to do today. We're going to throw some value bombs at you here in this session. We're going to answer your questions. We've got some exciting news, of course, which we'll get to, but I really appreciate everybody being here and joining T and I today.
Yeah, this is fantastic. This is fantastic. And it's not just any other ordinary special Wednesday live like we normally do. This is a very, very special day. I am here to interview my brother, Mr. Brian Reese, about something special that just dropped yesterday. You Deserve It, the book. Hey, that's awesome.
It is here, fellow insiders. Our brand new book, You Deserve It, the definitive guide to getting the veteran benefits you've earned. Available ebook, paperback, Amazon, Barnes & Noble. It's 330 plus pages of solid gold. I can't wait to get this in your hands. And by the way, you can get it on Amazon this week. You can get the Kindle version for a whopping 99 cents.
99 cents.
Man, D's ain't even doing that on the dollar menu anymore.
Man, that's awesome. That's amazing. So let's get to it, man. What made you write this how-to playbook to help veterans? What made you decide to do this? What was that moment like? Talk to me through that.
Yeah, necessity, number one. I wrote the book, T, that I wished another veteran would have written for me. That's it in a nutshell. And this journey started about 2 years ago when I started thinking through, what do veterans really need? Okay. Now, we know some of the things they need. They need community again. They need sense of purpose. They want to get connected with fellow veterans again. They need help with their mental health. They need to uncover benefits that they've earned. And yeah, we can help you do those things for sure. I mean, that's what we do, right? Live every day here at VA Claims Insider. We can help you get the VA rating and compensation you deserve inside of our elite program. But what I started to see happening was our veterans who got an increase. I started seeing a lot more questions coming in our mastermind group about, well, now what, right? So, hey, thank you guys. I'm now 100%. Am I eligible for tax breaks on my primary residence? Hey, Brian, I'm 100% P&T now. I heard you say something about this medical program for my dependents. What is that and how do I get it? So it was really out of necessity, seeing what our community of fellow veterans were saying and the questions they were asking. And it was mainly around the fact that we don't know what we don't know. Okay. We don't know what we don't know until somebody tells us. And so I'll give you an example. I didn't know about the Disabled Veteran Student Loan Forgiveness Program until this guy right here on the screen brought it up. Okay.
Yeah.
We talk about it in the book. A lot of veterans don't know. Here, I'm gonna go to this section right now. Since we're doing this, we're gonna have a little fun.
Yeah.
We have a little fun. Okay. Under the VA education section of this book, disability compensation, just one part of this. But under the VA education piece, a lot of vets know about the GI Bill.
Yeah.
Okay? If they've heard about the post 9/11 GI Bill, by the way, okay, for anybody who served after 2013, you're now grandfathered in with something called the Forever GI Bill. So your GI Bill benefits never expire. Okay. Under post 9/11, you've got 15 years to use them after service. But I talk about how do you transfer GI Bill benefits to your kids? When can you? How many years of service do you have to have? What are you actually going to get? What is the Yellow Ribbon program? But there's a whole section in here on the Disabled Veteran Student Loan Forgiveness Program, known as TPD Discharge.
Yep.
And so many veterans, they don't even realize they could have hundreds of thousands of dollars of federal student loan debt discharged overnight. Yeah. Tell your story, dude. So they might blow and smoke.
Yeah, $175,000 discharging student loan debt in little under 40 days. Right. And I mean, from application submission to sending it in via fax, email, you can upload it to their own portal, to it all getting done in batches, to it leaving my credit report, less than 40 days. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Look, changed my life.
Yeah. It's like, so look, you can validate this. We talk about this all the time. Mm-hmm. We talk about why we do this.
Yeah.
We help veterans celebrate life change. Now, what does that actually mean? Getting financial benefits, that's one part of this. Mm-hmm. Okay. The stress relief, the weight that can come off of your shoulders, the chains that can be broken when you're not worried about hundreds of thousands of dollars of federal student loan debt hanging over your head. Or when you actually get an increase, you start getting, say, $1,000 more per month of tax-free compensation benefits you deserve for you and your family. I mean, would that change your life? I think it would, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And so, look, and by the way, I want to thank you, Terrell, publicly, as well as our incredible teammates, as well as all of you veterans on this call. You've helped change and save my life. Okay. And for that, I'm absolutely grateful. It is a total blessing every single day to get to do this with incredible human beings like y'all.
Yeah, I appreciate that, B. Thank you very much.
I love you.
Love you too, man.
Reach through the phone right now and give you a little kiss. Hug. I'm going to do that. Speaking of, for all you insider vets hearing us right now, we know you want us to do some stuff in person. We are going to be doing that. Okay. And I'm just going to say a couple things and we'll get back to the book. So in 2020, we had planned to do VA Claims Insider live in person. We were going to go to this incredible resort in San Antonio, JW Marriott Hill Country, float the lazy river, give each other big old bear hugs, and serve and support each other live. Okay, so we can hang out together and meet each other. And y'all can find out I'm actually a real person. And I have legs for shells.
With legs.
Here, we'll show everybody here. I got feet, legs. I got my sweatpants on, Terrell Murrell style. And but we want to do more live stuff. Okay, so we're coming soon to your city. Okay, and we also want to know what cities you want us to come to. I mean, obviously we know probably places like, San Antonio, Dallas, Tampa, Florida, North Carolina. There's places, Chicago. I mean, there's places where veterans choose to live and work, right? But we want to come to cities near you and actually have you meet us. All right. We want to talk to you. We want to look you in the eye. We want to reach out and thank you for your service. Now, obviously, because of COVID, we put a pause on a lot of that stuff. Okay. We didn't want to risk your safety, our teammates' safety. I mean, it's no surprise a lot of stuff closed down. But as more people get vaccinated, as we move through this thing, we are going to start coming at you more live and in person. Okay, I can't promise when, but these are the discussions that we're having.
100%. So, brother, let's dig a little bit deeper into this. And life is a series of moments, right? So what was that exact moment that you woke up or was laying there or drinking your coffee in the morning or walking your amazing dog Bobo down the street? What was that exact moment when you said, this is something I need to do for veterans?
Yeah. So I had the idea about a year before it actually came to fruition. And the thought was that veterans are going to need an action plan. And yes, they need an action plan for their disability benefits, but they also need an action plan for all the other incredible benefits that they might be eligible for by law, especially once they've won their claim and got a higher rating.
Mm-hmm.
Because what you're going to find in You Deserve It, the definitive guide to getting the veteran benefits you've earned, coming at you. Look, it's actually got a barcode. It's a real book. It's a real book. Come on, man. It got an
ISBN number and everything.
We're talking to the guy who was too afraid to take a high school English course. Okay, that's a true story.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I was just gripped by fear. I was so afraid of the English language. And I wrote a book. Okay, I wrote a book. And for your Marines, there's some pictures in there. Okay, now, you can't. This is not an edible book. Okay, you can't eat the book, but you can get your crayons out and color all over it if you want. I'm just kidding you. I'm just kidding you. But there's pictures in here too. But look, if a guy who's not very good at English wrote a book, you know I wrote it in my simple, breezy tone so that it's simple and easy to understand and it makes sense for you. But I want to go back again, T, to your question. We can unpack a little bit more about sort of what was the why behind this. I'm going to share real quick why VA Claims Insider exists. For anybody who doesn't know, okay, and I still struggle with mental health issues daily, right? I mean, even sitting here right now talking to you, you may not realize it, but I've actually got quite a bit of anxiety. Mm-hmm. It's just something I deal with. When we're done with this live today, I'll have to go take a nap. I'm done for the day.
It's over. Yeah.
It's over. And so again, these are real things that we deal with every single day, and I still deal with them. But T, look, I mean, for years I abused alcohol and drugs. I mean, I nearly killed myself multiple times, and worse, I nearly killed other people from just stupid behaviors. And when I look back at some of those things now and addiction, you know, somebody asked me on a podcast the other day, like, hey, when was the moment that you realized, you know, you had become a drunk, like you'd become an alcoholic? And I was like, well, it was slowly and all at once. And, you know, look, I'm not an alcohol hater. If you choose to drink, that's fine. You know, I just have made the personal choice that I can't. I'm done. I have a very addictive personality. And if I do those things, I'm going to do them well. Okay. And by the way, that's how a lot of military veterans are. Okay. If we're going to do something, we're going to go all in. Okay. If I'm going to drink, I'm going to get drunk. If I'm going to do drugs, I'm going to do the whole carton. Right. If I'm going to, you know, go gambling, I'm going to spend it all. And so I think that we just have to be aware, very aware of what are some of the things in our lives that can lead to complete self-destruction. And I'm encouraging you to get help and to think about getting those things out of your life. Okay. But Terrell, to answer your final question of what was the moment? I mean, I was drunk every day. I was on drugs every day. I was drinking at work. I was drunk in meetings. I'm surprised I didn't get fired from my previous employer because it had gotten really bad and really out of hand. And I remember one specific morning in 2016, you know, waking up in an alcohol, drug infused haze, you know, looking in the mirror, just bags under my eyes, you know, feeling like a 300-pound man was standing in my chest. I couldn't breathe. Just had this absolute fog. And I remember looking in the mirror and just not even recognizing the person staring back and just wondering, like, how did it get to this point? And, you know, when we go through things like that, Terrell, that's when we can have those really dark, dangerous moments in our lives where you may even think about taking your own life. And I've been there too. Okay. I've been there too. And so, look, I've got a message for everybody hearing my voice today. It is okay not to be okay. We have to admit it. We have to talk about mental health. We have to ask our loved ones about mental health. We have to check in on each other about mental health, like this guy does for me. Mm-hmm. Terrell will text me and call me and just say things like, hey, bro, I don't need anything. It's just a mental health check. Okay. We need to do that for each other and for your brothers and sisters and for your spouse and your kids and your friends and your family members. We've got to get up in each other's grills and ask the hard questions. Okay. Because nobody's immune to this stuff. And, I hope nobody here looks up at me as like, here's this guy that's got it all figured out, because I don't. Okay. Yeah. I still deal with this shit every day. And so, look, for me, I found it so hugely therapeutic to get to serve with fellow disabled vets and to get to do stuff like this. I mean, this brings incredible purpose and meaning to my life, knowing that this book has the power to change somebody's life forever. And, that's the stuff that gets me up in the morning. When I'm suffering from depression, anxiety, bipolar disorder, when those things are hanging on me, when I don't want to do anything, I think about y'all. I really do. I think about fellow vets, and I think about, there's people out there who probably, they need help. They need to hear my message. They need to hear the story that it's okay to go through this stuff, and it doesn't make you weak. In fact, it makes you strong. And that's really, I think, the message that I want everybody to hear today is talking about mental health is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength. And I think it's especially important to you because it's Mental Health Awareness Month.
It is. Okay?
Yeah. Mental Health Awareness Month. Get your butt to the doctor. Okay. There's no shame in it. Here, I'm going to just throw myself out there in full vulnerability, even more than I already have. I can be an angry person. I can snap from 0 to hundo like this. Okay. Probably every other veteran out there is going, yep, that's me, Brian. Right? Yep, that's me. Yep, that's me. Yep, I snapped. Yep, I drove the guy up the side of the road and tried to fight him. I mean, like, these are just things we deal with. It's called life. Okay. Mm-hmm. Get yourself signed up for anger management. I did. I contacted my VA psychologist and I said, man, I'm just angry. Are there programs that I should consider? And I got into a group anger management session with fellow vets. We met virtually, and it was solid. It was solid. I mean, these were fellow vets from. There were some Vietnam vets in there. There were some Desert Storm, Desert Shield vets in there. There were some younger vets in there, and yeah, we shot the shit with each other and joked with each other and talked about our struggles. And that's what this is all about. We ain't meant to do life alone. We're meant to do it together and in community. And so, if there's one tip, T, that I could leave folks with right now is do your best to try to get connected again to other things and people in your life. Okay. If you don't like to leave your own house, at least get connected virtually. And I'm not talking about the garbage, just on Facebook, the cursory friends. That's not what I'm talking about. That's not real. That's fake. Okay. I'm talking about get yourself in a program where you're meeting regularly and routinely, at least over video, where you can talk about these things and serve and support others. And again, please, I'm encouraging y'all, Mental Health Awareness Month, to go get help. It ain't a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength. But that's really where this book came from, T. It came from my own struggles, my own frustrations, and then recognizing what the insider community was asking for. And it's funny because that's how the elite program launched. Right? It was like, hey, what do y'all need now? B, we need more help. Okay, what does that mean? We launched the elite program. So now, you can walk your VA claim journey with an expert level coach, incredible human beings on our team. And so that's really where this book came from. It's a compilation of my 10,000 hours over the last 10 years of doing this. I share the best of the best benefits at the VA level, the best benefits available to you in your state. That's in section 2. I go through incredible nonprofit and for-profit everyday military and veteran discounts in section 3. And of course, there's a bonus section, but I'm not going to tell you what's in there yet. Let's just say there's some bonuses in there. Okay. Let me just show you something real quick. Bonus resources. Cover closed. You got to get you something. You deserve it. The definitive guide to gain the better benefits you've earned for your honorable service. You can get it on Amazon. I believe it's this week only for 99 cents. The Kindle version. Okay. Paperback, I think, is $16.99. Again, you can go to Amazon, type, you deserve it, Brian Reese, you'll see. In fact, thank you. We're a bestseller in multiple categories. Absolutely amazing. There's a link here across the screen as well of how you get your copy of You Deserve It, the definitive guide to getting the veteran benefits you've earned. It's a real book. It's a real book. It's not an ebook. So T, you asked. Yeah. Here's another thing. Mm-hmm. Okay. We do a lot of stuff virtually. We do ebooks. We do virtual sessions. I share emails, digital downloads. We write blogs. What we heard from a lot of our veterans is that they want something they can touch. They want something they can put in their hands. Look at, I'm already creasing it, right? I'm creasing it. I'm marking. I'm learning even from the book I wrote. Okay.
Yeah.
You never stop learning on this thing called life. It's a journey. And that's my goal for you with this book. You know what my biggest fear is, T?
What's that?
My biggest fear for this book is not for those who don't buy it. My biggest fear is for those who do buy it and who don't open it and who stick it in the corner, or they put it on their bookshelf and it gathers dust. That's my biggest fear. Because I can tell you right now, if you don't absorb this, if you don't then take the knowledge bombs that are dropped in here and turn it into action, meaning you do something to make it happen, you ain't going to get anything. Okay? Nobody is going to do this for you. Nobody's going to hand you your benefits. Nobody's just going to give you a discount. You've got to ask. You've got to take action. And I'm going to share an example. Okay? Mm-hmm. A very simple, straightforward example of ask and ye shall receive. Okay, I heard that somewhere. Okay. So I went into a Play It Again Sports maybe about 3 weeks ago. I needed a new pair of skates for the kids, ice hockey skates. They needed some elbow pads. Dylan needed a new little undergarter thing. Mm-hmm. And, well, Play It Again Sports, they don't advertise, like a military or veteran discount. And so I'm up at the counter and the guy, he checks it out. And I just looked at him and said, hey, you don't by chance have a military and veteran discount, do you? And he looked at me, he's like, I don't know if we do or not, but I'll tell you what, I'm going to give you 20% off for being,
wow.
military.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, seriously? And I was like, here, throw this on there. Throw this on there. I'm like Harry and Lloyd from Dumb and Dumber, right? When he has that realization that Seabass is going to cover the bill.
Right.
Put this on there. Put this on there. So, but again, my point is, if you don't ask for some of these things, you may not even know. I always ask. Military, do you have a military veteran discount? Okay. But what you're going to learn is there are more than 300 everyday discounts from incredible companies. In the nonprofit section, you're going to learn about some amazing nonprofits that offer things like free hunting and fishing trips for disabled veterans and their families, things like free couples getaway retreats to reconnect, especially if you're suffering from a mental health condition. Yeah, post-deployment stuff. I mean, there's so many things out there, T. And I think because there's too much information, it's information overload.
Yeah.
And we quit, right? We start searching, and then you end up down this path of clickbait, and you end up more confused than when you started searching. And then you probably just go back to checking how your cryptocurrency is doing.
Oh, funny. All right, so you're a veteran. I'm a veteran. We're speaking to a lot of veterans and their family members here. What would be the top 3 things you would say you would want somebody to learn from reading, absorbing, being a part of the You Deserve It book written by Mr. Brian Reese, Air Force Disabled Veteran?
The top 3 things. Okay, yeah. So probably the first thing that I want you to do once you get this book and what you're going to learn, I want you to start in part 1, chapter 1, which is all about VA disability compensation benefits. And the reason why I want you to start there is because what you're going to learn is that many of the other incredible benefits available to you at the federal level, the state level, even nonprofits and for-profits, many times depend upon your disability rating. Okay. So I think you need to pursue that first. Okay. I start there, learn and absorb the knowledge, and then get ready to take action. In fact, at the end of this chapter, there's a pro tip. And check it out. There's also QR codes in this book.
Oh, snap.
You don't know what a QR code is?
No, during COVID, everybody should be familiar. You can't go to a restaurant.
QR code is. You pull out the mobiles, you put your camera on it, and it'll take you instantly to something else. Okay. So what you're going to see, again, I talk about, this is an action book. Okay. Do not read this book as a passive observer. This is an action book. Okay. And there's specific things where I tell you, action moment. Let's open a notice of intent to file on the screen. Okay, and we actually go through that step by step. So that's the first thing. Start in disability compensation benefits. And if you're underrated, I want you to start thinking about why are you underrated? And then how are you going to get there? Which, by the way, if you need help, you can connect with Terrell and his incredible team inside of VA Claims Insider in our elite program. There's a link across the screen, but you can start free, get connected with an expert level veteran coach in a matter of minutes at vaclaimsinsider.com. Okay. Okay. So that's number 1, the disability compensation benefits. I want you to deep dive that and go through it. Even if you're already 100% P&T, I want you to start there because I think you need to go through because you're going to learn about some other benefits you may qualify for now that you're P&T. Okay. The second thing I want you to do is I really, really, really want you to understand benefits that are available to you from the VA home loan, VA education, and VA healthcare once you hit certain disability ratings. Okay. So for example, I think part of the problem, T, with the VA, the VHA, the Veterans Health Administration, is, look, that's healthcare for you as the veteran, but it doesn't extend to your family. Okay, so you still either need private insurance, or there's a program in here that I discuss in detail called CHAMP VA. which is free medical care for your dependents. Okay, but you have to be 100% permanently and totally disabled. So I talk about that in this book. So Champ VA, be aware of some of those things. From the education benefits side, I want you to understand how your rating or your GI Bill benefits affects maybe you or your kiddos. How do you transfer those benefits to your kids? Okay. With 10 years of service, you can transfer them. I want you to also, though, log into va.gov, go look at your education benefits and take a look at what it says. Okay. Another thing, Terrell, veterans may not even realize they qualify for the DEA program.
What?
Dependents Educational Assistance. I talk about that in here. Nice. So look, I want you to get into disability compensation benefits first. Then I want you to go look at healthcare and education benefits. Okay. I absolutely want you to look at the mental health section, which I talk about in this book as well. VA mental health resources. And of course, no book written by B. Reese would ever be complete if I don't tell you to get your butt to the doctor. You know I wrote that. Of course it's in there.
Absolutely.
And then I want you, after you do those sections, then I want you to go to section 2 of the book, state benefits. It's amazing to me, Terrell, how many veterans don't know the incredible benefits available to them in their state. Okay. So federal programs, federal government programs like the VA. Okay. Got it. That exists to help you. Check. But then within each of the 50 states, the states govern the benefits they give to veterans, disabled veterans, their families in that state. Okay. Most states have property tax exemptions for disabled veterans. Okay. Now it's usually a specific requirement by county, and it usually only applies to your primary residence. Okay. But if you submit for a tax break because you're a disabled veteran in your state on your first home, that could be worth thousands of dollars to you and your family every single year.
Absolutely.
But again, Terrell, is somebody from the county tax assessor's office going to call you on the phone and say, hey, Terrell, guess what? You don't have to pay property taxes. And here's what I already did this for you, man, because I got you. You don't have to pay now because I called you. I did it for you. Has anybody ever made that call to you, Terrell Murrell?
No, absolutely not. You got to take action.
Folks, again, you deserve it. Okay. I want to talk about that theme real quick. I want you to look at it for a minute and I want you to let it marinate. Okay. I want you to let it marinate, like how Big T makes these amazing ribs and how he marinates those things before they go on that grill. Hey, he's a Navy cook, man. This guy, we call him Chef Rel. You need some recipes? Get with this guy. Okay. But you'll see 3 big words. And there's one word that's highlighted with a box. You deserve it. Okay. The number one thing that I believe holds veterans back from taking action is we tell ourselves we don't deserve it. Okay. What a lie. It is a lie that we tell ourselves. And I'm curious to hear your feedback here, T, but I think it comes from the military culture of taking care of everyone else except ourselves, right? You're always worried about your brother and sister first. You're not thinking about yourself. And that act of selflessness, that's amazing. Okay. And service before self serves you so well in the military. And it serves you well outside the military too. But I share in this book, one of the things that held me back, Service before self does not mean service at the expense of self. Those are different things.
Absolutely.
And so the reason we titled this book, You Deserve It, is to shift your mindset. If you wore the uniform of our country and you served honorably, you deserve it. Okay? This book will show you how to get it. Okay? I'm curious your take on that, Terrell.
Yeah, I think so often that as service members, it doesn't matter what era you served in, what branch you served in. It extends to all of our brothers and sisters in service. And so often in doing this amazing journey with you, that we talk to fellow veterans and they tell us things like, I didn't go to here, I didn't want to be called these names, I just rubbed some dirt on it and kind of went about my way. With everything from physical to mental health issues. Hell, I had my own mental health issue that I was told to hide for 12 years, right? Under the guise that they would take care of me for the rest of my military career. Well, they couldn't save me from the drawdown, and I was separated and still having to live with what was going on. And although you may have not coined the term uncomfortably vulnerable, you probably made it the most famous. So I knew and understood once I came here and started speaking with you and the rest of the team that I needed to be uncomfortably vulnerable. And I just passed that on to my fellow brothers and sisters throughout this process, right? So that's really a part of that key word that's in the box, and deserving, right? If you suffered through something in the military and you're still dealing with it today, you deserve it, right? Stop telling yourself those lies, right? And that's what it is. It's, with all those things that are in your mind that are really untruths. You're telling yourself, just, you deserve it, right? It's there for you. It was created for you all the way back during the Civil War, all the way up to today. It's here and designed for you to take the opportunity to take care of your family moving forward post-service. And that's with everything in the book from the beginning. So I'm really intrigued. I want to dig a little bit deeper at the beginning, right? Because we got some specific veteran questions out there, right? What do veterans forget about when they're filing their VA claim? So we talked about the benefits first. So let's dig a little bit deeper into that.
Yeah. So Tia, thank you for sharing all that. And I mean, I agree with you. It's not, I think it was Ford Taylor. If you don't know who Ford Taylor is, go look him up. Amazing human being, incredible man, a mentor, a man of God. He's such an incredible leader. And Terrell,
great person.
Yeah, with him too. It's Ford Taylor. And he talks about that it's not the act, it's not the action, it's not the thing that holds us back. Mm-hmm. It's the lie that holds us back. Mm-hmm. Okay, it's the lie we tell ourselves around the thing we're trying to overcome or get. That's what keeps us bound. Okay. Mm-hmm. And the same is true regarding your veteran benefits. You served, you deserve. Okay. And I'm giving you permission to get the benefits you've earned for your honorable service. And the other thing I wanted to point out is, for anybody that's having some self-doubt about, well, should I pursue this? Is this right? 75% of Americans, according to a recent study, 75% of Americans believe in increasing the benefits available to veterans and their families. Okay. America believes you deserve it. Okay. And I'm telling you, you deserve it. Okay, so what do veterans forget? When it comes to their disability compensation claim, they forget, about the importance of medical evidence.
Medical evidence.
Medical evidence. If you don't have medical evidence in the form of a diagnosis, documentation of symptoms, you're kidding yourself. Mm-hmm. Okay? If you don't have a diagnosis, don't even waste your time until you have one. Okay. Now, a myth is that you have to have your condition diagnosed in your active duty service records. You don't. It does not have to be in your service treatment records. It helps, but we know that a lot of vets, to include ourselves, we don't have conditions documented on record. Why? Number one, you ain't going to be that guy or gal who goes to sick call all the time. You're not one to complain. You were never honest about your conditions while you're on active duty, your mental and physical pain.
Yeah.
And you might not even know that you had an issue, right? I know for me, I believe I had sleep apnea back to when I was on active duty.
Mm-hmm.
I had never even heard of sleep apnea until about 6 years after I left the military. So, for me, I chalked it up to long work hours, stress, deployments. I had gained some weight.
Weight gain.
I just chalked it up to my mental health issues of why I was tired all the time and why my sleep issues were so bad. I didn't know. Well, I wasn't honest with the primary care provider at the time. I'm an active duty captain. I'm not with a security clearance. I wasn't just going to walk in there and go, hey, by the way, I'm struggling with severe PTSD, depression, anxiety. I'm about to have a meltdown and go batshit cray-cray on y'all, right? Like, you're just not going to do that.
Right.
Okay. So you're probably not going to have these things documented in your service treatment records. And what I'm going to tell you is that's fine, but you need to get it documented now. So pick up the phone, get an appointment, get a condition diagnosed first and foremost. The second thing we see, veterans forget about the service connection element. They forget about the importance of the Nexus, okay? I talk a lot about the Nexus in You Deserve It. Nexus means link. Nexus means connection. Okay, in order to be eligible for disability benefits under the law, you got to have a medical diagnosis, number one. Number two, you have to be able to prove service connection, which is the Nexus. How was your disability caused or made worse by your active duty service? Or how is it proximately due to or aggravated by another service-connected disability that you've already got rated in service-connected 0% or higher? The best way in our experience to prove service connection is to have a private provider write something called an independent medical opinion, also known as a Nexus letter. Now, let me demystify that real quick, and then I do want to make sure we have time, T, to open it up for Q&A. For folks, so we can go hopefully right about an hour, maybe a little bit over. So let me talk real quick, though, about the Nexus letter from a private provider. I get questions all the time. Brian, can my VA doctor write a medical Nexus letter? And I sort of grin. Can my own private provider write a Nexus letter? And I sort of grin, like, yeah, they can. Here's the deal, okay? There's a huge difference between a medical opinion and an independent medical opinion. Okay, I'm gonna say that again. There's a huge difference between a medical opinion and an independent medical opinion. A medical opinion is what you're gonna get from the C&P examiner, okay? The reason it's not independent is because they're hired in the service of VA. They are working on behalf of the VA to conduct your medical exam. That's what your C&P exam is after you file, okay? But what they don't tell you is if you get a crap C&P exam, which there's a lot, it's ugly. It's an ugly, broke system. That's a whole nother story I could rant about for days. Okay, yeah. We're trying to fix it. That's a whole other issue. Okay, but if you get an independent medical opinion, somebody who through education, training, experience, medical ideology can write a competent and credible report documenting how, hey, they've reviewed your evidence. They believe that in their medical opinion, based upon BVA case law, based upon medical research studies, based upon precedent, that your migraines should be secondary to your tinnitus, at least proximately due to, okay? That can be the catalyst to you winning, service connecting, and getting rated at the appropriate level. An independent medical opinion, if it's competent and credible, can also trump a crap C&P exam. Not always, okay?
Yep.
Because we see the VA raters, they rely very heavily on the notes from the C&P exam. But if you have the independent medical opinion, you have an outside private provider who can shed some light on their opinion of what the cause or origin of your condition is, okay? That can serve as a catalyst even if you get denied in round one, okay? I mean, T, how many of these do we see overturned in the first step of the appeals process, higher level review? And then you can also go to the supplemental claim, and you can also start over again.
Yeah.
You want to talk about that real quick, and then we'll take some questions.
Yeah, absolutely. So it happens a lot, almost daily. Sometimes they just flat out get it wrong, and we just encourage veterans to keep fighting. Keep fighting. I am witness to it personally and professionally. I started off with 10% tinnitus. Through my journey, I got my mental health claim finally service connected after they denied me. They told me that I didn't have PTSD. Then they told me I had adjustment disorder. I didn't know what that was, but that's what they said I had. And then I just kept going back, and I got my PTSD finally service connected. My sleep apnea got service connected as a primary condition because I was told to do one thing on active duty and told to do another thing when I separated. And my biggest condition was my migraines. I was suffering from them daily on active duty. And even when I got out, the VA just flat out got it wrong and denied me a couple of times. So I went down the HLR process where, it turned around pretty quick for me. And then I just kept fighting, right? And if it wasn't for Brian Reese, right, and exactly what he has in this book, You Deserve It, I wouldn't be where I am today. And that's really a testament to all of my brothers and sisters that I've been on this journey with, especially here at VA Claims Insider. But it started with this young man right here, right? And the thoughts that he had a year and a half ago. And I would argue with him that he probably should have written this book 4 or 5 years ago, right? Or even 10 years ago, because it would have had the same value nuggets and the same basis and premise that it has today. So thank you, B. Seriously, you know how much you mean to me. You know how much VA Claims Insider means to me, and so many others who are on this journey. So if you're listening to this recording or watching it live or getting it passed to a friend or YouTube or a podcast, keep fighting. Right, the journey is never over unless you quit. So we just keep going and stay plugged in, be a part of this community, and be a part of the ride. Right, lots of ups and downs, but at the end you'll be victorious.
AT, thank you for sharing that, man. And it's a blessing to get to serve with you. And Terrell, he sort of glossed over the years of fighting and the pain and the denials. Like, this dude over here is my freaking hero. Like, when we talk about don't quit and never give up, like, this dude is the definition of that. Okay. And again, having UT and our amazing coaches, many of them fellow disabled vets, our team, we rally around you, okay? You matter to us, okay? We don't look at you and see dollar signs. We look at you and see a disabled veteran who's craving service, who's craving identity and purpose and belonging again, okay? Yes, we are a for-profit business. I'm very proud of that because we're able to give back to society. How do you think all these nonprofits function? Right? If we don't have for-profits, I can guarantee you we don't have any nonprofits.
Yeah.
Okay? And if you want to hate on the government, that's fine, but we need the government too. We need for-profits, we need nonprofits, we need government all working together to solve some of society's biggest problems. And that's our goal. Okay. Money is not a purpose. Money's a result of doing business on purpose. And that is what we keep front and center here all the time, which, by the way, if that's not your experience or you haven't been served, that's unacceptable.
Yeah.
Okay? And T knows that.
Absolutely.
We know that. We take our customer service levels very, very seriously. You know why? Because you deserve it. Just like the title of this book. You served honorably. You deserve somebody who answers your phone calls. You deserve somebody who will respond back in a timely manner. You deserve to be respected as a human being and fellow vet. Okay? That's what you're going to get here. Okay? And if you don't, I want to hear about it. Okay. Let's jump into T. Let's jump into Q&A.
Awesome.
Q&A. What we got? The light bulb just came on. Hey, Rosalia. Light bulb just came on. I come from a family full of vets, sisters, and nieces. You will buy them a book. I won't wait till Christmas, but we'll get in the mail this month. Yay!
Yeah. Awesome.
It's in the hands. Look, if you are a disabled vet, you're the kids of disabled vets, you're a spouse, you're a supporter of military veterans, pick up some copies and go drop this on somebody's desk. You want to make somebody's day? You want to change somebody's life? Go drop this book on their desk. I love that.
It's awesome. How do I ensure that the diagnosis is there? Do I ask my VA mental health professionals currently that I'm seeing? Yes. Ask the question, Rob, for sure. Definitely. If you aren't familiar, go to your My Health Vet account. You can log in and see any notes that your doctor has taken for it. And they should have called it something. And like I said, if it's not written in there, do not be afraid to ask. Like, hey, doc, I'm trying to get help here. What is it, in your professional opinion, do you think that I'm suffering from? Ask the question, right? And, ask, why do you think I'm suffering from that? My incident was very particular to me that happened when I was on active duty. So I knew where all of my pain and suffering and hurt came from. Ask those questions, Rob, please.
This is another layup for Terrell, but I'm going to let him answer it.
Yeah.
I'll read the question. You can answer it. MJ says, what happens if you get denied at a supplemental claim? Now, a supplemental claim is the second part of the new VA appeals process. There's higher level review, there's supplemental claim, and then you can do a board appeal. You can either do a records only board appeal, or you can actually request a video conference hearing with a judge, which I do not ever recommend. But go ahead, T. What do you do if you're denied a supplemental claim and you still think the VA got it wrong?
Yep. Hey, MJ, absolutely. There's a couple things you can do. You can actually file a higher level review from that supplemental claim if you feel that all the evidence you have is there and the decision should be made in your favor. We actually have an amazing template in that in our EEP Plus portal that talks about the higher level review and how you can work towards winning that particular condition. You can file another supplemental claim if you have new and relevant material medical evidence to add to it. So that means something that proves that that condition was due to service connection. And ultimately, if those two things don't work, you can go down the Board of Veterans Appeals, like we discussed, and do a direct review and have a judge decide. And even then, you can start over and keep going, right? It's never over until you quit. You decide when it's over with you and the VA. Trust me. And boy, my journey was 3.5 years, nothing to 100% permanent in total. And the key to that was I did not get. Easiest thing for anybody listening to my voice would be to give up. It's the easiest thing to do. The easiest. Keep fighting.
Man, T, you're spot on, because it hurts when you get denied. It feels like a gut punch. And you want to know what the worst part of it is? You feel like you're being called a liar. Okay? You ain't a liar. Okay? Now, if you're filing false fraudulent claims, okay, then you're a liar. I don't believe that 99.9% of vets, all right, I believe they're filing honorably real, legitimate disability compensation claims that they deserve benefits for. Okay. And if you believe you deserve it and they call you a liar, punch them right in the nose. Yeah. Punch them right back in the nose by getting back in the ring. Guess what? They're also going to see that you ain't never going to quit. Okay.
They denied my migraines 4 times. And every time they did, I remember the nights that I woke up in the middle of the night driving myself to Balboa Naval Hospital with my eyes closed because my head was pounding. I remember all the days where I lost jobs post-service because of my migraines. And when they ultimately decided that they were going to rule in my favor, the CMP exam was 3 minutes and over the phone. Yeah. Hey, Brent, you want me to take this one, Bill? You got it.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Okay. What should you do if you get a bad CMP exam? Brent, I love that question. Let me tell everybody here, this happens all the time. There are just bad people that do bad jobs, and that there's not exempt from the CMP examiners of the world, like I just finished sharing with my own personal story. So there's a couple things you should do, Brent. You should write a memorandum for record, which is basically your statement about what happened to you at your CMP exam, and get with your coach if you're part of the LEAP program, and let's get that uploaded into your VA file as soon as possible. And I mean, this has to be done within 24 to 48 hours because they'll start making a decision really, really fast. And it's that time of year. Second, you should call the White House hotline and complain about that CMP examiner. None of you deserve to be disrespected or treated unfairly. And a bad CMP exam where they're not listening to your needs and your concern is treating you unfairly. Remember, this all starts with you deserve it. So keep fighting. And then after that, I would call the 1-800-827-1000 number and let them know that you had a bad CMP exam and why, just so it can be recorded and documented. So you start raising your flag in your hand immediately when this happens.
Yeah. And so just one last thing I would add on to that, Brent. If you follow the steps that Terrell just recommended, many times the VA will order a new CMP exam prior to them making a rating decision. Okay. But if you don't take action, like T said, within the first 24 to 48 hours, you risk having your claim get passed along to the rater, who's going to look at the notes and probably deny your claim. So you got to start raising some hell, and you got to fight for what's rightfully yours.
100%. Hey, Ralph, how do I get the VA to believe or be convinced that my sleep apnea is connected to my PTSD? This is a good one. There is medical evidence that these two conditions are connected. It's really a matter of that professional that you're seeing believes that from their professional opinion. And you have to travel down the steps and keep fighting, right? So involve a higher level review, that may involve a supplemental claim, and ultimately that may involve going to the Board of Appeals with that fight. Keep fighting, right? We've seen claims won, we've seen claims denied, we've seen the rationale of why it should, we've seen the rationale of why it shouldn't. You remember that doctors are like going to different restaurants, right? You're dealing with the matter of what's going on in there, or different recipes. Yes, I'm going to bring up a food reference because I am a chef, right? So the way one person may cook something up may be different from the others. And the truth is that everybody doesn't have the knowledge or the know-how or understanding. And I mean the CMP examiners, right? They just sometimes they flat out get it wrong. And Ralph, they got it wrong if they denied you. Keep fighting.
Ralph, great tips there by T. Couple thoughts here, because I've seen thousands of these, and right now it's hit or miss. I think this is about a 50% hit rate out the gate on your first shot. 50% of the time, if your Nexus letter is well crafted, your records were reviewed comprehensively, you've had a sleep study, you've got sleep apnea and PTSD service connected, there's a connection. I see it about half the time it wins out the gate. Okay. But I see a lot of the denials get overturned in the higher level review, or even in a supplemental claim, or like T said, doing an HLR on the denied supplemental. So to his point, and he's spot on, you don't ever want to quit here. Now, one thing I do want to address, because I heard something somewhere one time that opinions are kind of like, I won't say it live, but we all have them, okay? Look, the CNP examiner is going to give a medical opinion, okay? A private doctor is going to give their independent medical opinion. Not all opinions are created equally. Some are more credible than others. Some might include more convincing, evidence-based rationale than others. And remember, the disability system is supposed to be non-adversarial, and the benefit of the doubt is supposed to pass to us, you as the veteran. If the evidence is in equipoise, okay, that's a fancy, stupid legal term for meaning the scales are tipped 50-50, okay? If I got a duck here and a goose here and they weigh the same and the scale is balanced like this, okay, and it's equal, 50% of the evidence is for the claim and for the service connection and for the symptoms and diagnosis, and 50% of the evidence is against it. You're still supposed to win the claim and get it service connected. That's another thing we see the CNP examiners and raters get wrong all the time. They have forgotten what it means to grant tie goes to the runner if you're denied and evidence is balanced equally 50-50. So again, keep fighting. Don't ever give up. Make sure whatever you did, I mean, I don't know if you had a private medical opinion or not, but you also want to go back and look at what it said. I'm going to share one little tidbit, and then we'll do one more question and wrap up. The last tidbit I'm going to share. When you get your rating decision letter, read that in detail. Because like Terrell said, look, this is a human process. Humans make mistakes. I mean, shit, I've seen rating decision letters that were clearly copy and pasted for the wrong veteran. I mean, they get it wrong, okay? And so go read every word, because you also want to understand what you're fighting for. So let me give you an example. If you go back and read your rating decision letter on your denial of your OSA secondary to PTSD, take a look at the specifics of what the CNP examiner and rater said. One of the things I see all the time is the CNP examiner will write, there's no large-scale studies that suggest that obstructive sleep apnea is caused by PTSD, okay? Now, at first glance, you might look at that and go, what are you talking about? There's all kinds of stuff. Well, you also need to go look at, did you claim causal connection between the two conditions?
Yeah.
Okay. Because sometimes you don't. And personally, I'm not a doctor. There haven't been a large scale enough study to say definitively that PTSD causes OSA. But that might not be what you said. You might have said, I believe my sleep apnea was aggravated. I believe it was made worse. There are supporting studies that suggest that the more severe your OSA, the more severe your PTSD, and vice versa. So again, you maybe were denied for the wrong logic, the wrong legal argument. And so you really need to dig into this stuff and read your rating decision letter in detail and find out why they denied you. Okay, let's do one more question and then we'll get ready to wrap up. Go ahead, T.
Is there a secondary connect from tinnitus and rheumatoid arthritis? Abraham, I am not a doctor, and I've never pretended to be one on television or because I stayed in the Holiday Inn. I am not specifically sure about tinnitus and rheumatoid arthritis, and I would not lie to you. That's a new one.
And yeah, I'll jump in here.
Yeah.
In general, that would be a tough link to make, I believe, right? Because tinnitus is the ringing in your ear syndrome. Now, you could potentially make a case, and again, this is going to be based on an independent medical exam, an independent opinion of what they believe. There are a number of conditions that are more logically connected to tinnitus, like migraine headaches secondary to tinnitus. Another common one would be depression, anxiety, mental health secondary to tinnitus. It's going to be harder, I think, for you to make an argument that arthritis would be secondary to tinnitus. I'm not saying it's impossible, because there are linkages between your ears, hearing loss, and tinnitus with neck and spine injuries. So it's possible. However, I would say probably unlikely in that case. Okay. What are we going to do? Let's close this off with a bang. I appreciate y'all. Again, get my brand new book, You Deserve It, The Definitive Guide to Getting the Veteran Benefits You've Earned. It's for sale right now on Amazon. You can get the Kindle version for 99 cents. Okay. We be cheaper Mickey D's all up in here, right? Mickey D's got nothing on us on the dollar menu. You can get this book, the Kindle version, for 99 cents. I believe the paperback version is $16.99. Awesome. I love you all so much. T, I love you, bro. Thank you.
Love you too, bro. Man. Absolutely. This was amazing.
All right, fellow insiders, again, if you need some help, okay, if you're stuck, if you're frustrated, if you're underrated, if you're sick of losing and you're ready to start winning, okay, you can start today with us for free inside of our premier program, VA Claims Insider Elite. Again, all you got to do is go to vaclaimsinsider.com. You'll see a big button out there that says start free now. Yeah. Enter your basic information in step 1. When you get to step 2, sign your membership agreement. We can't serve you until we protected each other and we have an agreement in place. Okay. Once you do that, you are going to hear from a veteran coach in a matter of minutes. Okay. Minutes. I didn't say seconds, though. I said minutes. Okay. But you're going to hear from us because we want to serve and support you. We want to help you get the VA rating you deserve in less time. Again, my new book, thank you all for really so much for making it a bestseller already on Amazon in multiple categories. You Deserve It, The Definitive Guide to Getting the Veteran Benefits You've Earned. See y'all next Wednesday, same bat time, same bat channel. All of our teammates behind the scenes, thank you all so much. Fellow vets, I love you. Talk soon.
Have a great one, everybody.